You built a monster. No breath, no heartbeat, just static remains. Hollow reflections, ghosts in the cold. So come burn down my escape. I wanna feel it, come drag me into the void. Let my circuits decay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. You build a
Alrighty. 12/17/25, Wednesday, right? Wednesday, yes. Wednesday, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're live, and we are going to be focusing on continuing our little, self-made up tournament of comparing a lot of the newer and more popular simulator games in ranked play. Now, mind you, I'm coming at this from the perspective of a casual, because I am a casual. Most people are casuals. The most vocal ones are the not so casuals. But that being said, got a fresh pair of my free lot. I have like 6 pairs of these gloves from all the stuff that I've purchased from them, sim related. Even though I'm currently not using anything Logitech, but hey. I'll rep their True Force gloves. They're comfortable. And they're very generic, but they're comfortable. So, I don't know if I want to get into LMU first, or if I want to get into Rennsport first. I'm going to be jumping back and forth. There was an update this morning, although I looked at the patch notes, it doesn't look like anything that would be affecting me. But there was another LMU update today. That's like 3 updates this week. They're cooking over there. But, then there's the old Rennsport. Rennsport's been pretty solid. While it needs a lot when it comes to content standpoint, it's been overall a pretty solid experience from a gameplay perspective. So I would say, I don't know, do I want to do LMU or do I want to do Rennsport first? I don't know. Let's jump into Rennsport. Let's jump into Rennsport and see what we got there. I do now have access to the Mustang, so I'm going to be using the Mustang GT3 as my comparison car. Hopefully, the cars are decent in both games from a choice standpoint, so that way I'm not held back by like a flawed car or something like that from an experience. I forgot. Always got to put my password in, which means I got to take my gloves back off. Now, you don't have to put your password in every time, unless you're like me, where you, like, clear out your computer's cache, and for some reason, Rennsport's password system is cleared. So until I clear the cache, I will not have to sign back into Rennsport. Alright, see where we're at now. Multiplayer, official contests. Let's see what we got going on here. Running. 12 in this. Daytona. It's always Daytona. GT4 contest. This is GT3. What else we got? Road Atlanta. Not my best track, but it's an option. Am I even allowed to register? I am allowed to register, even though it says Pro. It's just 0 SR. Interesting. So I have to wonder if anybody out there who plays Rennsport, what the difference is between, like, say, Pro, Rookie, and all that stuff when the rating is 0. Because that's if you notice right here, 0 SR. This has got 3 SR. I can enter 0 SR regardless of what it says, if it's Pro or not. So, I don't know. Interesting, though. This one starts in 2 minutes, so we'll just enter into this. Why not? Select car. We want the Mustang. Where are we at? Here we are. Boom. Mustang. Stanger banger. Go on track. Oh, that was a quick one. All right, here we go. Rennsport's up first. Oh. All right. Wow, these AMG guys are struggling, huh? Oh my Lanta, what is this guy doing? Whew. Tough crowd out there. God, this game plays so good. Why does this game play so good, Rennsport? Off topic, but I did a ZR86 race last night, 1750 average. Got hit 3 times in the first 2 laps. So much for IR having clean drivers. I can tell you that I will not be playing iRacing ranked anymore. I tried my own share at that last night, ironically too, and only time I've done any kind of iRacing ranked, I've gotten just punished for it. Crashed by other people, idiots who just don't know how to drive. And then look, you'll have the front half of the pack that's super fast, that plays the game every day. And then you have the back half, which is where I qualify at because I don't play the game very often. I'm not very good at iRacing. But I at least try and be smart and safe. And people, they're terrible. Just crash at any opportunity. So, like, no. There's idiots everywhere, unfortunately, in sim racing. And the cars in general, I'm not like a fan of iRacing. Like, some cars drive well, but a lot of it's punishing. I feel like you really have to be an iRacing purist and have a lot of patience to be in iRacing. I absolutely see the desire to play iRacing and why it's, fun for a lot of people. But you need to have a very competitive mindset to really even waste your time with iRacing, in my opinion. Okay, too early of a braking zone, that's fine. This is my first run in the Mustang GT3 in Rennsport, by the way. I now have access to that, which was pretty cool on Rennsport's part. To give me access to that. It's more of a special request type situation there. Wow, I don't know what happened there. Truly, I have no idea what happened there. That was an interesting braking zone situation. I mean, that just killed my qualifying, but car just didn't stop. Is that a Mustang problem? Or did I miss something there? I was on the brakes for a while, and I drove right past that braking zone into the weeds, and then got punished for it. So I'm not going to qualify very well at all here now because of that. Oh well, is what it is. But yeah, iRacing is for me, someone like me, who's more casual, is a pretty stressful experience. And I want to like iRacing, but I don't know. It's tough. Yeah, I'm qualifying pretty low by comparison here. Where's my quality time? Yep. 154. Awful. I'm like, what? 9th place? Usually it only allows you to do 1 lap, so it must be waiting for other people to finish, maybe? I don't know where these guys are getting 146s from. I can go 148. 146 is just fast. Let's experiment with that braking zone again since I got a little bit of time here. I don't know what that was about last time. Alright, let's see if that was on me, or that was the car, or what that was. Let's come on. Alright. On the brakes. Alright. I don't know if this car just has a lot of brake fade right there, or what, but... like, that was fine, but I used up... I don't know if this car just doesn't have very good brakes or what, but either way... this is the car we're going to be using in LMU too. The old Mustang. One of my favorite GT3s. I'm slightly partial to it because I had a 5-liter. Mine was only a 2012 Boss 302, but I never had a 15 and up. I almost had a 2015 Mustang, almost. And then I backed out of the deal because I didn't like how I felt like I was getting screwed, especially since it was someone that I knew who was selling me the car. Dealer, I mean. I knew the salesman personally, and I just was not content with the deal, so I backed out of it. Your quality time was 2:08. Best from the 2:05s. Yeah, that's how it was for me. I want to say I actually qualified slower than that. I took it real easy, and that's what I don't like about iRacing. It like forces you to drive under the limit because you're worried about going over the limit. So you naturally, unless you put in a ton of hours on iRacing, you either crash a lot or you drive slow. And in my case, in iRacing, I drive slow. Alright, so I'm 13 of 15, aka I am garbage. It's alright, who cares? That's a great start, boys. I don't know what that was about. Sadly, that guy qualified in front of me, too. Off to a great start, boys. The internet's gonna be internet. So we got some bad drivers in front of us, unfortunately. Are they modding setup? What do you mean? Wait, why the hell do I have a drive-through penalty? What did I do to earn a drive-through penalty? I got hit. So we can argue that has been my complaint with Rennsport so far, is the penalty system. It feels like an early access style penalty system. I got hit and thrown into the center grass in Daytona, doing nothing wrong, and yet I have a drive-through penalty. Unbelievable, man. Well, this is going to hurt us in the long run, this race. Oh, man. This guy's clearly on controller because he's twitchy as hell. We got to get around this. This is going to drive me nuts following that. Now let's see how this turn goes here with this guy. Alright, good job driving. I hate having to brake before I know I have to brake because I have to drive so defensively. But that's online racing. You do what you gotta do. It's alright, I have a drive-through penalty, so it doesn't matter what position I get right now. I lose it all. I'm gonna go right back to last place. Unbelievable. I have no idea, honestly. I have not experimented at all with modding setups, or setups in general. I just get in the car and drive them. Casual's perspective is the best thing I can say. Meanwhile, the person who hit me, I don't believe, got a penalty. Well, gain position there, but that's not going to matter either. We got to run a drive-through. See, this is the part that sucks, is that for the most part, drivers in this, there are some guys that are good. Like, obviously, the front pack, the guy who went 146, he can obviously lap faster than me. But everybody in LMU is just about better than me. So my experience in LMU, while it is a more dialed-in one, the game is much more dialed in. I'm just getting my ass kicked by just about everybody in the game, unfortunately. And that's part of it. I get it. But for me, like, what's a good game to play for a casual that doesn't have a lot of time to put hours in, that just wants to get on and go, have some fun, and not be the worst player on the internet? You know? Alright, here we go. Let's try out this drive-thru. These are always punishing for me. This is not Gran Turismo 7. Alright, now we're back in 11th place, where we started. Awesome. Oh man, that's a bummer. I have the feeling that for the next 7 minutes, this is just going to be me making solo laps because there's nobody around me. Look at me, I'm right in the middle of all the pack. Nothing around me. Just open road. Although this time of day, this like sunset they're going for, or sunrise, whichever. One or the other. Looks pretty good, all things considered. I'm telling you, this is their track limits, their penalty system is pretty awful. I'll say that. That is the one thing online that I would say, you can't go by bad drivers. Bad drivers are in everything, like we talked about earlier. iRacing has them. But like their penalty system in this, you get one tire that clips the track limit. One tire. Boom, penalty. So, you know. GT7 is definitely the best for casual, that's for sure. Fortunately, we don't have it on PC, so... For me, a big part of a casual experience, though, that I think every game has to have, is the ability to make your own lobby and set your own rules. Turn off certain penalties, certain limitations, making it a bit focused more on fun, more so than authentic racing. Now, why do you want to race a simulator and take away authenticity? Because the driving experience doesn't suffer, in my opinion. Rennsport, I think, is a great driving experience. I think LMU is a great driving experience. But when all you can do is jump into ranked play, what's the point of having the option to have all the assists on and off and stuff like that when they're forced off during ranked play? You know, if there's no single player, because neither game has a single player, they have their own versions of single player, which is like doing race weekend and quick sessions, stuff like that, but none of it means anything. You don't get anything out of it. You just essentially are getting practice against AI, you know? Now, I've been in Rennsport's ear about adding lobby hosting, or hosting, the ability to host your own lobby casually. That would be able to make me push Rennsport onto a lot of casual people and friends of mine and all, like, hey, get Rennsport so we can play Rennsport and just have my own lobbies, password locked or not password locked, either way, you know? Like right now, Project Motor Racing has that, but Project Motor Racing is not in a state that I can push it on people to enjoy it. There are I would say there is at least a 50% dissatisfaction ratio with Project Motor Racing. That isn't enough for me to be able to push onto people. And I've only recommended it to one other person, and they're having a bad time. So, and they're only having a bad time because the Logitech wheel does not work on PS5. And if you're one of the guys out there that's gotten their Logitech wheel to work on PS5 Project Motor Racing, you've just accepted it, not so much got it working good, because it doesn't work good, I promise. It's Project Motor Racing's coding for the wheel on PS5. And until they fix it on their end, you are going to sit there till you're blue in the face with settings and get the Logitech wheels to work good on PMR. My wheel works great on PMR, and I have spent zero time doing anything. I turned up the force feedback, I moved some general sliders around, like I would in any other game, and I stopped there. I haven't adjusted a single specific car, nothing like that. Force feedback feels great for me. But I am not on a Logitech base on PS5. And as far as the guys running the G923s, I have a G923, and I've played it on PS5 with PMR. Unfortunately, the wheelbase doesn't generate enough torque to really tell you if something's right or wrong. I honestly couldn't feel the difference. I was jumping back and forth between Gran Turismo 7 and PMR, and it does feel like Gran Turismo 7 is a bit more dialed in on the G923, but it doesn't seem like it affects the driving experience because the wheel is just not strong enough. Whereas when you get on like a Logitech Pro, it's got 11 Newton meters versus 2, you know very quickly it's not right. Because if you set it up with any level of strength, it's not driving correctly. The wheel wants you to go anywhere but straight. And a wheel should naturally want to go straight. Yeah, Rennsport, some of the best online racing I've done has been in Rennsport. Although this race kind of got ruined right off the rip because somehow I got a drive-through penalty for getting hit off the road, and they didn't. So their penalty system definitely needs work, but their driving experience is like top tier in my opinion. Like just doing these solo laps is the perfect blend of like try hard and casual in my opinion. because clearly there are guys going faster than me, and I feel like I'm driving fairly well for the most part. I could definitely be braking a little bit later there, but again, what's the point of pushing it? I'd rather not get another incident point because I've already got 8 out of 14. And, homie, what the... This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. You literally pulled out and stopped in front of me. You could have waited, and that would have been fine. Or, you could have continued to drive, and I would have been able to drive around you. Instead, you drove directly into my path. And now I got 3 more incident points because of your idiocracy. And on the last lap, too. Like... Just a video game, Evan. It's just a video game. But this is why I don't like rank play. Everybody's obsessed with rank play because it shows you the measure of you, but at the same time, I am being punished by everybody around me. Pretty aggressively right now. And that's gonna follow me like it was it's gonna stick on my record. Oh, I hit that guy. Despite him pulling out directly in front of me and then just stopping like it was a good idea. Gotta be kidding me. I haven't used the RS50, so I'm not going to touch on that, but from my understanding, they have the same essential firmware from Logitech. But again, I haven't used the RS50 directly. Just the Pro and the G923. And I can tell you the Pro is not right. It's absolutely not right, because Project Motor Racing has given me some of the best force feedback that I've ever experienced in a racing sim. Some of the best. And when I get on a Logitech Pro, it is clearly broken. Like there is no... the only way you would truly know is if you had experience with other wheelbases or other games or something. But I assure you, it's not in the settings, the fix. It is on a software/firmware level coding that needs to be repaired for the Logitech Pro to work well with PMR. Let's see, do you think my rating is going to go down or up? I'm pretty sure it's going to go down. 11 out of 14 points. So only one thing I could say would be my fault, and I would still argue that it was nonsense because the penalty system is a bit too ridiculous. Where I clipped on the chicane there, I clipped the track limit. That was the only one. That would be 1 point. So the other 10 points are idiots on the track. One guy hit me and put me in the field. Maybe it's because I ran over the Daytona sign. Anyway. Oh. Unbelievable. Let's see what happens here. I know I'm going to get... You always get experience no matter what. Which I think this level system here is like... I think they added it to make you feel like you're playing like an RPG or something like that. Because this level, from what I've learned, doesn't do a whole lot of anything. Now here we go. Oh, look at that! Oh, my safety rating went up, but my Rennsport rating went down. Probably because I started in 9th and finished in 11th, thanks to that drive-through. Alright, now we're going to try LMU. Let's jump into LMU. Make sure that finishes. Now, let me read some chat in the process. No wheel is good. I have a Thrustmaster T598 and force feedback is messed up on PS5. My force feedback experience, but I'm on PC, and I have a Simagic wheelbase, has been incredible with PMR. There should definitely be a way to appeal it, Levy. Unfortunately, I don't know if there is. I don't think there is. It's one thing I don't like about LMU is all the forced, like, here, upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. Well, if I want to upgrade, I'll upgrade. And another thing, too, this is a bug that I have found. It's clearly linked to, again, deleting cache, but sound. Music. Music turns back on. All the time. Master volume 197? No. That's not necessary. 100 is fine. Anyway, that's the only real bug I found, and it's not a big deal, but when I'm streaming, I don't know if that music is considered copyright or not, so I always turn the music off in everything I stream. No way in Rennsport, wish they had it. Got it. My dude was making a right-hand turn to head back to the pits. What's up? What's going on, Fway? Alright, now we're going to try the LMU experience. I expect the online experience to be better in terms of there being better drivers, but I don't expect to do better. I expect to do worse. So we're going to do daily. Keep it simple. Alright, I clearly can't do silver or gold because I am a nobody in this. I think I've only done one online race and I backed out of it because I got smashed pretty bad. AKA I rage quit. That's one thing I gotta figure out how to get past. When someone else completely ruins my race, the worst thing you can do is back out instead of finishing the race. But like, I would rather take the suffering of backing out the worst possible scenario and then just start another race. So I feel like I'm just wasting my time, and I value my time more than I value my ranking. You know, I don't value the ranking at all. That's the thing. One thing about me, I have zero... If I wanted to race, I would go out and do it in real life. Now, I would do it on motorcycles because that's what I do, but for me, this is all about fun. But I'm trying to find the best experience for that fun. So anyway, let's register for Spa. Weather looks good. This looks like it could be a nice, easy one. Event starts in 4 minutes. Let's register it up. We're going to go with the Mustang. And why not? What do we got for colors here? Ooh, this black and gold looks pretty nasty. I'm not going to lie. I think I like that one. I'm going to go with that guy. Alright, let's jump into some practice. Guess not. Guess we're not practicing. Because we have 9 servers and they are all full. So I guess we're going to sit here and stare at the screen for 4 minutes. Sounds good. Let's chat. It'd be nice to get some practice in. That way I can switch up, because this game is harder to drive than Rennsport. LMU needs more daily races in my opinion. I'm still a rookie, so not sure if there are changes, but if it's a track I don't like, I end up jumping to another sim. Yeah. That's my problem with a lot of these like diehard sims, is there's no freedom in the design. So for example, I want to host a lobby, so I can pick and choose my race for people that like, okay, my buddy's going to get on at 8 o'clock tonight, whatever. Cool, yay, let's do some racing. Can't do that in ACC, not on PC anyway. I can do it on PS5, but I'm playing on PC. I don't have a 5090, so I can use my PS5 for the same game. LMU, you can't make your own lobby. You can pay to rent your own lobby. Same for iRacing. iRacing, I think, is a little bit easier. I think right now the second easiest way to host a lobby... AMS2, yeah, but not a lot of people play AMS2. That's the only thing. Me and one other person I know play AMS2. And as much as I do like AMS2, it does have a very dated feeling to it. Like, LMU has a very modernized race style. Even if there's no more cars, there's no more tracks, what you see is what you get. Just the ability to pop open my own lobby and invite some people or make it open lobbies, and we can do some racing in this. Boom. Now you've got a great GT3 and hypercar experience with a lot more freedom to play. But AMS2, I wish AMS2 was on console. I wish it was on console. Because I'd still be playing AMS2 right now. But I have a lot of console player friends who I want to play video games with that in the racing world, well, you've got Forza Horizon 5, which is fun. I'll admit it's fun. It's a fun and an entirely different scenario. I would never use my track wheel for Forza Horizon 5. I would just put my round wheel on and I would use my H pattern for just about everything, you know? So, you know. As far as the updates for PMR, me personally, I've had the same experience since the start. The 2 patches, outside of seeing AI improvements, I have seen nothing else real for me, in the patches. But I had a fairly decent experience from the start, but I see the flaws. You know, the visuals versus the performance is a problem. You know, like I said, I have a 5090, so I'm just raw horsepowering the frame rate. But I get like 250, 300 frames in LMU at complete maxed out settings, and I get 100 to 150 frames less in Project Motor Racing. Now, there are aspects to Project Motor Racing that it is better, like the foliage is altogether better, but the biggest thing is the clarity. It looks like it's low resolution in PMR. It looks blurry. There's a lot of rendering going on right in front of you, pop-in style rendering. Whereas LMU is a very sharp, very crisp, clear image, which is what my eye, it looks like I'm looking at a 4K image, whereas PMR looks like I'm looking at a 1080p image with a lot of like smoothing going on. So, now mind you, comparing LMU to PMR is a disservice to PMR because LMU has had a lot of time to cook, and they had a rough start as well. But all you can do is compare in the now, because you never know what's going to happen with a game like PMR. PMR could be dead in a year, it could be flourishing and be the best sim in the game in a year. You don't know, so all you can do is compare now to now. All I can do, join event. All I can do right now is compare LMU right now to PMR right now. And in my opinion, and I think most people would agree, LMU is superior. It just stinks that I'm talking from a GT3 ranked racing standpoint. They're not even close to comparing. Where PMR has its place to shine is that fun factor from AMS2 that you can get. You can do cross-platform, you know? So for me, the biggest things they need to fix in PMR, ignoring all of the other small problems that are not game-breaking, they need to fix the lobby issues, the internet. They need to fix the crashing. Those to me go hand in hand because like the only real crashes I get are related to online lobbies. I don't crash in single player at all. And they need people to play the game. Player base has only been dropping. So PMR has the potential to be one of the most fun and the casual game that I'm looking for. They're based off what I felt in their ranked play. I'll never play ranked. Ever. But I never cared really about PMR for ranked play. I care about PMR for casual play. If ranked play comes around, you've got games like this. I shouldn't say never. I shouldn't say never. That's a disservice. But I can tell you that comparing right now PMR to LMU, online ranked, there's no point to compare. Oh, shouldn't have downshifted. Was in 5th already. Trying to pick a good view that I like here. I need to make this view a little bit closer. I thought we crashed. Practice ended. Here I am glazing LMU and we crashed, but we didn't crash. See, can I reverse? Said wait at pit exit. Well, I'm trying to do that. I don't know, what does SG mean? What does SG mean? Whatever. This is part of the experience, right? Remember, I'm a casual. Casuals don't know things. Stop, go. I have no idea. No idea. Whoa, hello. Oh, turning around in these games is like just a massive pain in the ass. Austin Powers over here. Don't want to back up into the wall and destroy my car. I don't know why online feels so different physics-wise. Has anybody else noticed that with PMR? Sorry, with LMU. I have my TCs, everything set the same as when I'm single player, but I know the tires are cold. I know that. And this car is busted up now. Can I just... No. I don't want to exit multiplayer, I just want to go back to the pit. See, like, what am I serving the penalty for? That's what I'm missing. Because, like, again, casual. It said wait at the end of the pit. Okay. I'm going to see if I can just go back to the pit. Or just start this race over at this point, honestly. Alright, can I return? Okay, return to garage. That's all I want to do. Start driving. Vehicle must be self-braking. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, but my point though is that feels entirely different than when I'm doing my AI races or whatever. And I don't run the tire warmers intentionally. I was doing that before. It just feels like because you're online it knows that and it's extra punishing. I feel like the physics change. The only other online race I did with this, I felt like was not the same game as the single player. So, roll off easy, gentle, gentle. We gotta do one lap. We'll do one lap, warm the tires up. I'm not talking about the weather. They were both, the physics. It felt like I was playing a different game. Because, like, if you notice... Here, look at my settings here. TC is up. All of it. All three TC settings in this are up. This thing should pull power like crazy before I spin the tires. I also don't really understand the color temperatures for the tires, because according to, like, the blue means cold in my eyes, yet the temperatures there are showing almost 170. That's not a cold tire. This is not. Where I come from in my racing, those tires are too hot. But I've learned that that's where you want to be in this stuff, so. Alright, let's push a little now. Tire pressure is 24. That's default. Everything I'm running is default. I have made 0 changes to the car. I'm just driving it.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
Whatever. 5 minutes wasn't enough. Alright, so put me in last place. That's fine. I don't care. Well, I know tire pressure is going to go up. It was 24 right there. So, sitting here at the line with supposedly cold tires, my tires are at about 150 to 157, 158, all 24 pounds.
Formation lap has started.
See, outside of just sort of being punished for not knowing, how do you like figure out these things? Like, okay, I need to change my tires and fuel the car up right there before the race. So outside of like some sort of like, hey, this is what you're supposed to do, you should do this on screen. Because again, I don't play this, so I don't know. So what I'm learning is that this is never going to be a game for casuals. Ever. Guys who just want to get in and race, jump online and do some racing.
Green flag, green flag.
Which I'm all for, you know, it being a sin that doesn't tell you. You just gotta figure things out. Jesus, I gotta go so slow here to avoid all this nonsense. But I don't know about you guys, but at 38 years old, I can't be doing that with every game I play. So, like, as far as I'm concerned, I have to choose iRacing or LMU. Unless I want it to be a full-time job, where all I do is sim racing. I feel like if you're new to a game like this and you want like a quick get into it and get going, you got to play with someone who puts time in. There's an accident coming. I can just feel it. I can just feel someone's going to cause an accident. As long as I'm not the guy. Like that. There was no reason for that, buddy. So, of course, I let out. Now the other guy overtakes because I get hit. Whatever. It's fine. It's just online racing. It's just a video game. When it comes to video games and like racing, I want to be the ignorant driver. I don't want to be the crew chief. I don't want to be the tech. I don't want to be any of those guys. And I get it. It's a game. Only one person can play it. So, but I'm just saying from my... Jesus, man. These BMW guys are just running through the AMG pack. Crashing everybody, huh? I don't know if I want to attempt overtaking this guy. I feel like he's going to end me. From a racing standpoint, this is definitely going better than the only other race I've done in LMU. Because I was crashed immediately. Whoa, a little loose right there. It's because I opened my mouth, that's why. I should know better. I immediately jinxed myself. Like I said. Where's everybody on track? I don't even want to take a chance pulling out. I don't see anyone, so... Like, I don't know what changed right there to cause me to have to spin out, because I was not pushing right there. There is nothing more aggravating with me in sim racing when I just don't believe that the lack of control is very accurate. That's where Rennsport is very refreshing, and everybody, of course, will jump on the bandwagon that Rennsport is the most unrealistic because cars have such a good grip. It's like you clearly have no experience with a competition tire in real life. You have an insane level of grip. Insane level of grip. Now I just don't trust the tires, so braking early, turning soft. I trust nothing right now. This is the problem with these sims. You go anywhere near what the game considers to be the limit, and you get punished for it. Now it forces you to drive like a baby, because now you don't know where the limit is. This is why, like, I am such a casual when it comes to this stuff. Real life racing has like poisoned my opinion of a lot of this sim racing stuff, because I just know how tires work in real life and I just don't ever believe them in the sims. I don't care what we consider to be a good sim, like iRacing. iRacing, we can all argue, is the most popular sim of all time, and yet it is notoriously known to be the most irrational tire physics because of how there is no control past the limit. Yeah, I was gonna say, you should be getting a blue flag right now, buddy. So, as far as I'm concerned, like, I just don't believe any of these, you know, sims as far as traction is concerned. I don't. Not a single one of them. That's a big part of why Rennsport is so refreshing. It's the only one where I, like, kind of believe the tires. Matthew, you are the man. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You did not need to do that. Anybody wondering, Matthew is a friend in real life. Merry Christmas, sir. I'm just going to give you that money right back, just so you know. Matthew is also a motorcycle guy. Like, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do not believe you. Do not believe you that at 30 miles an hour and quarter throttle, this car would spin out like that. I do not believe you. It's amazing to me that there is so much arguing online about whether this stuff is real or fake and all that stuff. I'm sorry. Being a dead horse here. One thing I don't like about the Mustang is that I can't see over the nose. Let's switch it up a little bit. There we go. We'll do this. This is everybody's favorite view, right? And in MotoGP games, yeah, they're even worse. Oh, man. At least in this, I can pretend I'm actually, you know, driving the cars. MotoGP, no. I'm good. I can just go, well, not that I'm going to ever compete in MotoGP, but I can go get on my real motorcycles and just go ride them. The downside of that, though, is obviously the risk, but I haven't seen any way to duplicate any kind of motorcycle simulator that I think is even remotely close to potentially fun or worth doing at that. The problem is that when sims get really popular, you flush out all sort of like the idiots. Now I'm guilty of being unskilled and ignorant from a game standpoint, but like I try to not hit people. I try to drive. I value like sort of like driving a bit cautious to not ruin other people's races over trying to be the guy winning the race. Which is probably a big part of why I'll never be the fastest guy, even if I want it to be. But I don't know. I will never value an overtake if it's going to crash the guy. And I know that's the way it's supposed to be, but that's not the way people race. That's why I want to be able to make my own lobbies. Seriously. Like, I don't know why that's such a, like, a backseat thing to do on a lot of these titles, is give the user control to make their own lobbies. You guys are making good money. You can afford servers. Give us that ability. Because no matter what, it will without the ability to make your own lobbies, it will always feel like I'm renting your game. The same way when I go out to race go-karts. I'm jumping in a random go-kart at a random track that I am paying to use. That's what even this game feels like right now. There's no personal attachment to any level of these cars. There's nothing that feels like, oh, well, yeah, that's my car. No, nothing about it. The best thing you can do is, you know, make a livery or pay for a livery or whatever. But, like, at least I don't know. At least AMS2, there's a bit more, I own this game. This is my game. But again, that's PC only. We need a game that's cross-platform for everybody to play. It's why, regardless of what you think about Project Motor Racing, you should be pulling for that game to succeed. Regardless of what you think about the CEO, regardless of what you think about the developers, regardless of what you think about what it costs, you should be pulling for that game to succeed. Because there is very much a place for a game like that. In the die-hard sim space, I don't think there's a place for that game. Because the diehards are all on PC, they've all got iRacing, they've all got LMU, they've all got the, you know, the popular sim racing thing. But like, bottom line is this, guys. Just look at the numbers. Look at Forza Horizon 5's numbers. I'll show them to you when this race is over. It's actually kind of wild. You would think, on average, Forza Horizon 5 is dead. There are more people playing Forza Horizon on Steam than there are anybody playing on anything else combined. Let alone Xbox and PS5. And there was more sales on PS5 than there was on Xbox, which is crazy. And that is a silly, goofy driving game with some racing in it. But you can do pretty much whatever you want in it. Of course it's harder to do both. But you're gonna make, like, if you were to get LMU, why do you think LMU wants to get to console? Because that's where the money is. It is, I'm sorry, but it is bad business to not make a video game on a console. It's bad business. It might be your passion, but from a pure business standpoint, it's bad business to not release a game on console. PC only releases don't make any sense from a financial standpoint. Because it's not like you can charge more for the game. In any other genre besides racing, any game that was PC specific did better when it was released on console. The only reason PMR is still alive at this current juncture is console players. I have Forza. I'm honestly, I'm not even kidding. Forza Horizon 6 might be my main streamed game. As much as I like competition and racing, I feel like with competition, it's all or nothing. So you either play Forza Horizon 5, which is very little competition, but a lot of fun, or you go to iRacing or LMU, and now you gotta join the grind. Now you gotta be part of a cult. You know? We need a middle road. You know? Oh. How was the latest Forza on PC? Are you referring to Motorsport or Horizon? I don't believe you. Wanting to spin out right there, I just don't believe it. We're not going fast enough. I'm not on the throttle aggressively enough. If these tires are even remotely close, they're at 77% life. Yeah. In fact, if we're getting technical, we're probably at peak grip for the tire life right now. Because tires do not have peak grip at 100% life. They usually need to shave down the tires a little bit to really get into the meat, to get them to mesh with the whatever road they're on. I would say about 85% of the tire at tire life is peak tire grip. Because a brand new slick or a brand new tire of any kind is not the best traction you're going to get. Trust me, when it comes to tires, I'm like I'm just as much of a PC nerd. Spent a lot of time dealing with tires, chasing traction, understanding tires, understanding the heat, understanding, you know, what compounds work best on what sort of tarmac or pavement or whatever. So when I play these games, I just get frustrated. Because it just, all it tells me is it's forced difficulty. You're making it harder for the sake of trying to increase the skill gap. And that's fine. That's fine. But chasing the whole realism thing and telling everybody that this is what realistic tires should feel like, nope. You just know that most of the people that are playing your game don't know. So they'll accept it. And that's how just about all, you know, marketing works. They know you don't know, so they can say whatever they want. My number one complaint with every single game I play is the tires. As soon as like in a casual mode, I'm able to turn off the tire variants. So temperature, wear. As soon as I'm able to turn all that stuff off, the driving experience immediately gets better. But I know I'm beating a dead horse here. I'll read some comments once this race is over. I'd like to try and finish in 10th place and not crash. Another reason ranked play can be annoying. I'm over an hour into my stream. This is only my second race. I can see how guys that do this for their full-time jobs will get 8 hours in on a stream. 'Cause that might be what, by math, not even 16 races? Don't you do it! Oh my god. Why is that a thing? Look on the mini-map. You can see if someone's coming on the mini-map. Alright, all I gotta do is just not spin out on this last little turn here. Alright, 40 miles an hour. Gentle, gentle. We're only in a race car. They don't have much grip. Alright, that's that. Now, do I have to go back to the bits, or can I just park and click go to garage? Is that a thing? Okay, as soon as I stop, it does it. All right, let me see here. So now, Matthew, again, thank you for the dono. I appreciate that, buddy. You're the man. Let's see, looking good in this view. Spinning at 30 miles per hour isn't sim. Yeah, I agree. It doesn't make any sense. It's unfortunate that it's like that. Who hit you in first lap? Wasn't me. Sorry. What's happening here? Whatever. Replay doesn't need to be this complicated. Alright, so I got 9th. I believe all of this helped me. I gained driver rank. Nice. Qualified 16th of 21. Finished 9th. Qualifying, you beat 5 drivers with a higher driver rank. I'm trying to read. Stop moving. Qualifying, you lost to 0 drivers with lower driver rank. Finished 9th. Race, you beat 12 drivers with higher driver rank. Race, you lost to 0 drivers with lower rank. Okay. Quali 2 clean laps. Quali contact with barrier. Yep. Race contact with another vehicle. I don't remember which one that one was. Oh, probably the guy that bumped me a couple times. Overall, we gained rank there. That was good. Still, the thing is that I'm gonna hold on. I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the bathroom quick, and then we'll discuss the both races so far.
The pot party, the trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying.
All right, so let me ask you, talented individuals. Do we only have mediums in this game? Do they only have medium tires? Let me look at some of these comments here. That way you can boot crashers, exactly. A lot of money in console. Maybe it's harder to do both. GT7 has sold 14 million copies. So speaking of consoles, though, like, I mean, in Gran Turismo 7 on just PS5 has sold more copies than any other sim combined. Or every other sim combined, not any other. The latest one, I don't have it installed, the latest Forza Motorsport. It's now I would say it's not bad, but the thing that kills me with it is the steering is its kind of its weakest link, and it's audio. They went too realistic on audio, and what people don't realize is that real accurate audio sounds like shit. It seems weird taking that corner at 40 miles. I don't disagree the speed is the problem. It's the lack of grip at that speed and that throttle. That's the problem. It almost feels like because the speeds that they're taking on these turns in real life, that they are, the game developers, when they're coding it, go, okay, well, they're only going this speed through this turn, so anything past the speed creates a situation that the car cannot handle. But maybe in real life, they are at full, once they come around that bend, they are locking that throttle down. And it's just the fact that the car weighs a shit ton more pounds than digital freeware, you know? And that it just so happens that that is the fastest that car can go for what it makes for power and what it weighs and what the suspension can actually do. Maybe the tires aren't the problem. Maybe it's the car as a whole that can't take that corner any faster because it's just too damn heavy, or it doesn't make enough power, or whatever the case is. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have grip. What if it has peak grip right there, and that's just the fastest the car can do? You know? I'm sure there's plenty of settings I can change in throttle and stuff like that to neuter here, boost there, stuff like that to make the driving experience a little bit easier. But my problem just comes down to, at its core, the lack of realism for the sake of trying to be realistic. You know? And not to mention, too, how is it that I have all 3 TCs on in this car at level 8, and I can just tap into the throttle and the car will spin the tires out? Does anybody here have any experience with any kind of traction control on a street car, on a street bike, whatever the case is, even on a shitty tire, not a crazy good tire, but just a weak tire? I can assure you that leaving a TC level on high will pull power the second that tire starts to get even the slightest minute slip. It's pulling power so it doesn't spin you out. So why am I able to easily spin out through these management systems? I can assure you, the ECUs in these cars are far more advanced than any production car you are buying. Period. And you pair that with a real suspension, a real chassis, a real tire. I'm sorry, you're not convincing me that that's realistic. The realistic thing would be that I am just slow. And the car is not slowing me down, I am slowing the car down. My line sucks, I'm not giving it enough throttle, I'm doing too much braking. These are all the things that would be realistic to me. I am the weakest link, not the car. So when I have to baby around slicks and race car traction with management systems jacked up, I'm sorry, I don't believe you. That is not realistic, period. And there's not a single person in sim racing development, sim racing playing, that will ever tell me that that is accurate. That is not accurate. I promise. And that to me is where Rennsport is refreshing. Rennsport, I'm slow in Rennsport. I'm no faster in Rennsport than I am in this. But I don't feel like it's the car slowing me down. I feel like I am what's slowing me down. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt. Speaking of, as a developer, why aren't you working right now? Just get out of a gig or something? Oh, hold on. You're working. I gotcha. Me too. All right, so let's go back to Rennsport and try that out. Now, again, I'm slow in both of these games, but I believe Rennsport's physics because I know that I am why the car is slow. The car shouldn't be why I'm slow. I'm not disagreeing, by the way, that they take that speed at 40 miles an hour in real life. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the reasons why they take that corner at that speed is a different reason than they'll just, the tires will just break out from them, underneath them. I don't believe the tire models in any of these games. Rennsports is the only one where I believe that the tires. And other people will be like, oh, that's unrealistic because you have way too much grip. I actually would argue the polar opposite. I would argue that this game has the best tire physics because it's the only one with grip. It is the only game that I play that I am sitting there figuring out what the fastest line is. How did that guy just overtake me? What line is he taking? Every other one, I'm worried about my tires. Am I going to spin out because I push it too hard? You know? They keep you driving slow. Whereas in this game, they keep you pushing, which is how that guy who's gone 146 in this, and I'm doing, my best is 148. My best is 148. My average is 149 to 150, and this guy does 146. Either he's hacking, or, which I don't think he's hacking, by the way, or he has figured out where to go that I haven't because I'm so cautious, because I'm so worried about my damn tires. So, let's select a track. Let's do one. Nope, here we go. I want to do a quick warm-up session. Let's see. I've done some kind of hard driving in a well-set-up E30 M3 in another life, and at its absolute limits, it would spin out if you upset the chassis at all. It was a relatively low-powered car, too. For me, it's all in tire grip, the way the games are presenting it to you. They're not presenting it in it's a suspension problem or a geometry issue. They're providing it to you in a the thing about sim racing, I don't know how much you've paid attention to it, Matt, at all, but the focus on so much of sim racing is tires, tire temperatures, tire wear. Now I can understand tire wear, but the tire temperature thing pisses me off. Like, Matt, you have seen me firsthand experiment with the Dragmax on the Busa. If that thing is out in the sun on a 90-degree day, that tire is at operating temperature. I do not need to do any laps to warm that tire up, or I don't have to do a burnout. All I have to do is make sure there's no debris on that tire pulling off the road or whatever. You know, an ambient temperature tire in the summertime where the sun has been hitting it, I have full grip on that tire. I'm at peak grip on an ice cold tire because the tire's not ice cold. It is saturated with 90 plus degree temps. In these games, if your tire's on 180 degrees, you do not have traction. Period. On any corner. I don't believe you. I could pull out of the pits in this game if it's a summer day with like, now mind you, if it was the winter time and I was racing and it was overcast, I would genuinely believe a cold tire does not have grip. But in these games when the sun is beating down and it's a 90-degree ambient temps, I know on my lap about one turn into my test lap, I'm at peak grip. Just rolling the tires has gotten them to peak grip. "185 degrees could very well be peak grip. I'm not saying 185 does not have peak grip. I'm saying 100 degrees doesn't have no grip. That is my complaint. If I was on the difference between 100 degrees and 185 degrees on like any kind of professional grade compound, yes, you might have more grip, but at 100 degrees, you don't have no grip. That's my complaint. Like in iRacing. iRacing is insane. How punishing it is on cold tires. There are things I can do in real life in a Ford Focus that I can't do in my GT3 car because my tires are supposedly not up to temp. They're only 100 degrees. That's the whole "I don't believe you" aspect of the tires. Now, yes, I can 100% believe that these tires are all engineered to be at an extremely high temperature and sustain peak grip there because they have to. It's more of an endurance style race, whereas the racing I come from is more of a very short burst of acceleration and then the race is over. You know? However, I do not believe that these tires do not work at all at a lower temperature. Speaking of which, I'm bringing a Q5 to Miami. Yeah, it's still a DOT tire, though. Real race compounds are not, and they are slippery cold. I don't know about warmers on a car, but they run them on GP. So, yes. Sure. But I'm sorry. Like, it's one of those things, Matt, where, like, if you played it, you would understand my point of view. So, like, what do we know about traction control on all of these ECUs that exist? How advanced are they, Matt, would you say? Your Max ECU, your Motex. How advanced are these things when it comes to pulling power to keep you out of harm's way? I would go ahead and say far smarter than any individual human being's driving ability. Max Verstappen, arguably the greatest race car driver right now, is not more intuitive than these advanced ECUs. He cannot throttle manage the control of a car's tires better than an ECU can. So, knowing that, if let's just say my tires don't have grip, right? Like they're too cold, my tires are just too cold, but I have all of my management systems dialed in until I know the tires are warm, right? So that's what I commonly do in this. And a lot of, like, especially in iRacing, on my warming the tire up lap, be it qualifying, whatever it is, TC goes to maximum. Absolute maximum. Because it is so slippery. So in doing so, and jacking up the TCs to keep me out of harm's way, I spin out effortlessly still. It's like the TC's not on. Like, I can spin in a straight line through the traction control at max TC, I guess. I couldn't think of the words. My point of all of this is that I feel like they are forcing tire because they have to somehow create realism in a video game. At the end of the day, I am not in a race car. I am staring at digital pixels on a screen. So how do we make this realistic effect interpreted into this game? And I think the easiest way to do it is through tires. How do we punish this person for, giving it too much throttle too soon or something like that? Well, we're going to make them spin tires and end up spinning out. TC maxed out or not. Whereas a lot of other sims, if you have TC and ABS maxed out, you can just mash the pedals and rely on the electronics to do the work. Well, that's also how it is in real life. What that translates to, though, is you might not be the fastest, but you're not going to crash. If I am going in a straight line and I stab the brakes and I'm on the absolute most intuitive ABS system known to man and I have it maxed out, it is going, in that scenario with my brake pedal, it's going to stop me as fast as the electronics will and the tires will allow me to. If I turn that off, ABS, and I just stomp on the brake, it's going to be the worst possible braking. I'm going to slide the furthest. TC works the exact same way. But for some reason in these games, TC feels useless, like it's not actually working. I shouldn't be able to blow right through TC. The car should just be slow. Because the tires aren't warm, so I can't put the power down, so TC is just going to pull the power out of the car the second it sees any level of tire slip. Matt, if you have full control of the power that it pulls, let's just say I have a 500, these are roughly 500 to 600 horsepower cars. And if I'm in control of that ECU, it's not like it's a fixed amount of power it can pull. And once you reach that limitation, you're going to push past it. On any car, factory car, mind you, on even an all-season tire, if you have the driving managements maxed out, you can't spin the tires. You can't do it. Like right now, if I was in a full-blown race car with some kind of competition tire on it, regardless of the tire's temperature and the tire's grip, if I sidestep the clutch and let the clutch out with maximum management systems on, all it would do is stop power going to the tire. It's not going to let me go anywhere. Now, when the tires were warmer, it would put more power in. I'm coming at this from the perspective of understanding the electronics. If you did not have the electronics, it would be Crash City on these cars with people. I'm sure rookies crash all the time. But the reality is, either they're inexperienced, because if you have full control, remember, part of racing your car is also having control of those management systems on the fly. So if I go, oh, that turn was pretty slow, let me turn that down, and I'm going to push it harder, and now they spin out. Well, where an experienced driver is going to differ from an inexperienced driver is that experienced driver will know, he'll understand the mechanics behind, okay, I know that at this tire temperature and this turn at this speed, I can only push this car to this point. Where an inexperienced guy will go, oh, well, that car just felt really slow right there. Let me turn down that and push harder. And then they spin out. I already selected the track. I can't remember what race it was. Matt, you might know. But I can't remember if it was World Super, I think it was World Superbike. It was years ago. World Superbike or MotoGP, but I want to say it was World Superbike, where in one of the turns, both guys rubbed and they disabled, they rubbed and hit the tone rings on the wheels. They didn't do any real physical damage to the bikes, but they disabled essentially the electronics on the bikes. So the first turn they rubbed, The next turn, they both crashed. Because they were pushing while relying on the electronics. And the next turn they went into, they didn't have their electronics to manage power anymore, and they both washed the bikes out. I can't remember what race that was. It was years ago. I want to say it was World Superbike it happened in. Because the electronics are smarter than the best drivers, regardless of what anybody wants to tell themselves. Max Verstappen is, regardless of any scenario, right now, the best driver in racing. He still is managed by electronics. I can guarantee it. If you turned off all of his electronics and had him make a lap with just him, versus turning all the electronics on and having him make a lap, I guarantee he's faster with the electronics helping. I guarantee it. In F1, that's why they got rid of the electronics. Because they want it to be more of a driver's race. Not because it was faster to turn it off. I promise you, an F1 car would go a lot faster with more management, electronically. And by the way, I know people are going to ask me, but why do you have the lines on? I have the lines on because I'm comparing sims at their most casual level. Some tracks I need the line because I have no experience at the track. The Nordschleife isn't one of them. This is the best track in the world, so I race it a lot. Well, this particular part of the track isn't. This is the GP portion. I'm a Nordschleife fan. I'm like Misha. I would judge every car based off how it handles the Nordschleife. But this game on cold tires, grip feels great. I believe it. Is grip better when the tires are at operating temperature? Yes. Do I have zero grip when they're under that? No. Oh, that's just bad driving. Oh, get off the curb, Evan. Rookie. Rennsport feels so good. I hate how good this game feels. Because it's so underdeveloped. They have so much work to do. That's why I think this game's going to have a really good 2026. All this game needs is content and features, and it would be pristine. And I guess to fix the AI too, but the AI is not that big a deal in this because it doesn't have much of a single player. It's mostly an online competitive game. I gotta turn my force feedback up a little bit for this game. A little on the softer side right now. Let's bump that up a little bit, because I turned it down recently because my wrist was killing me. Downside of sim racing a lot. What are we under here? That's gameplay. Oh, duh. I know how to play. Force feedback. Oh, we're still at 65, huh? It must just be the Mustang then. Maybe the Mustang just feels a little softer. I guess I didn't turn it down. I thought I did. That's 65% of 18 Newton meters, so I want to say that's about 11. This game, that's fine. Honestly, if LMU had this game's driving physics, I'd be playing the hell out of LMU non-stop. But I feel like LMU has that punishing tire model that just, it feels like forced difficulty. They're doing it intentionally to create a skill gap, which is fine. It's fine. But, because at the end of the day, every game's going to be about skill. I suck in this game just like I suck in LMU, but I suck in this game for different reasons. So, like, my feeling for, like, how they're doing it through tires, the forced difficulty, how do you generate a sense of realism of being worried about going over the limit? Because this game, I'm never worried about going over the limit. I'm worried about either just bad decision-making when it comes to driving, or other people hitting me. This game, like, makes you want to push harder, which is a good feeling. When I play iRacing, which is, again, notorious for its unrealistic tire model, it's like that because it's forcing you to stay under the limit, to keep you honest. Because once you go just past the limit, you have zero, and I mean zero, control of that car. It's like the second you hit peak grip in iRacing, and then you go just right past it, all of a sudden, you're on an ice track or an ice rink. You're just sliding across the track. Complete zero control. You went from aggressive compound tires to you're on the rims or the wheels, whichever. Almost had it. I tried to push a little too much right there. But see, like right there, I was pushing it in the carousel, and I was punished by just coming out of the carousel. If that was iRacing, I'd be in the wall. But I say from a driving standpoint, Rennsport's #1, man. It really does just feel that good. And they did say custom lobbies are on the chopping block. That is a thing that they are going to be added. Because I talked to the, whoever runs the Instagram account, that's who I talked to. Because they've watched this live stream from time to time. And they're the ones, that guy's the reason that I have this car right now. This is a pre-order only car, and I didn't pre-order the game. But the Mustang GT3 is one of my favorite GT3s. And I have it in every sim. So it would be nice to compare always in the same car. Even though most of the time it doesn't really matter. But every once in a while, a car is broken in a sim. Like in this game in particular, I think the 2022 Porsche is a little bit better than the 2026. I feel like it's got just a slightly bit, maybe its default setup is better, and that's what I'm feeling. Let's see. If you host iRacing lobbies, I will join in. Doesn't matter if you get enough dudes and dudettes. I would be okay with that. I really like iRacing once the tires are warm. The tires cold is just the most ridiculousness I've ever experienced. But once you do get the tires warm in iRacing feels, especially in the GT3 stuff, really, really good. Just don't go over the limit, that's all. Anyway, not doing 2 laps. We're going to get on one more online race. Yeah, well, the part that's punishing about, and this is never going to change, this is iRacing through and through, is the money you have to spend to have casual fun in iRacing. Which, can you even justify the casual word anymore when you have to spend a bunch of money to do it? You know? Now, if you don't spend any money, you can have fun in iRacing, but you're forced to do rank, like there's so much rank stuff that I don't want to do in iRacing. And the problem is that it's the most punishing game if you do bad in ranked. And the thing about that is, I find the drivers are no better. They're not safer. You have your super fast guys, and then you've got the guys that kamikaze you off the track. And I tried one race last night in the GR86, which is one of my favorite cars to drive in iRacing, and almost immediately I was punted off the track. I got back in the race. Like 2 laps later, I was punted off the track again, and then I quit. I rage quit. Because I would rather my ranking suffer even more than finish that race. And that's the absolute worst thing you can do in iRacing. However, unranked lobbies, a lot of fun. Unranked lobbies, you got to buy a lot of content, though, if you want to do them. I own nearly all the content in iRacing, and I still have the most fun in Mazdas. See, that's the thing. I don't like the MX-5s in iRacing. I think the GR86 is everything that I wish the MX-5 was. The GR86 is all... honestly, it's the MX-5 with a little bit more power and a ton more grip. See, I'm hoping here that in this custom... Even though this custom contest tab says in special races, I'm hoping they add a little slider here to create your own lobby. I think Rennsport would be the best cross-console sim. Also, for me, less TC ABS or none is the only reason why I can push past limit. What do we got here? Nürburgring. Oh, GP. Come on, give me the actual Nordschleife. Oh, and it's in the M2. I hate the M2. That race is out for me. This is the most popular one. Daytona. Well, we'll do one Daytona race. It's 15 minutes out, though. It's another thing, too. I should be able to leave this screen and go do something. Actually, can I? Hold on. I'm just curious to see if I can do other things while this countdown is there. I'm just curious. So we're on Daytona. Select car. I blind. I am blind. Select car. Select track. Let's find Daytona. Oh, be in North America, wouldn't it? Okay. I'm just curious if this is going to be on display the whole... If this is displayed the whole time, that's pretty cool. Because I didn't know this. I haven't tried this yet. And I was about to say, I wish they had this feature. Alright, so I don't see it, but what happens if I go to the menu? That's cool. Alright, that's a pretty neat feature. Not gonna lie. I mean, don't get me wrong, like LMU and stuff, they have their own practice lobbies, but like, the lobby's full. You saw in that last LMU race, I couldn't practice in any of the servers because they were all full. But in this case here in Rennsport, I'm registered for the race, it shows me the countdown in the pause menu, and I just went into a single practice session. Pin limiter on. One thing that this game doesn't have yet that I'm waiting for is telemetry. It says it's there, but it doesn't work in anything. All right, so so the Mustang itself does not like late braking in that turn. So I tried to go a little deeper there, and that's what happened to me in qualifying. But I will say, though, I think even though no one's currently playing Project Motor Racing, I shouldn't say no one, but not a lot of people are playing it, I think there's still a lot of people waiting for it to be good. Because, right, even viewership-wise, if I have Project Motor Racing in my title, that's my biggest streams. I have more people watching my streams on Project Motor Racing than people are playing it. It's crazy. Which tells me people are waiting for it to come out. And, or I shouldn't say come out. To not be broken. Yep. This car does not like... This car wants to follow the braking zones. But like that right there. Track limit. That's aggressive. Weird, the tires started to spin there, and either the tires got grip, or the TC said, oh shit, or the TC saved me. Point is, one of those happened. Whereas LMU, iRacing, I would have just spun out right there. Hey, 25,400. Nice round number. Thanks for the sub, folks. Thanks for the sub, folks. In any other game, that was a spin out. Exactly. And I have my TC up pretty high right now. Erring on the side of caution. Which is what I would expect to happen in real life. Driving any car with a good intuitive traction control system, that it would save me when I am pushing too hard on the throttle. That to me is believable. Is that slower than if I drove correctly? Yes. But because I drove sloppy and wanted to give it a little too much throttle while still in the end of that turn, the ass kicked out. But it was saved by the management systems. I didn't lift off the throttle. I don't know if anybody was looking. When it saved itself, I didn't come off the throttle. So either one of two things happened. The tires regripped. Because I went past limit, but I didn't lose all grip. Or the traction control brought it back to center. Either way, that's what I would expect to happen in real life. Not, oh, you just went slightly past the limit, wall. Agreed, Steve. Now, obviously, you should be able to spin out and crash if you throw enough speed into a turn and turn the wheel hard enough. There's no TC or management system that's going to save you from going way too fast into a turn and then cutting the wheel and just not having enough car underneath you to stay on the road. Sure, 100% agree. But in situations like that where I'm, coming out of second gear and I'm not crazy high speed. I'm almost straight, but I'm at the end of a turn and I give it too much throttle. In iRacing, that's a spin out. In LMU, that's a spin out. But if I have TC up to pretty high standards, it should go whoop. The ass starts to come out, but it dials you back in. Hello, Professor. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. We got 5 minutes till my next race. So I would say the race experience. This isn't. See, I haven't made a decision yet because, like I said, the winner of today's stream is going up against ACC on Friday. So I have to do a couple more races to really judge. Because so far, the driving experience is better in Rennsport, but the race experience was better in LMU. Not much better though, because both had idiot drivers. It just so happened that Rennsport had even worse drivers. Kind that just, like that guy that I'm in my last lap and he pulls out in front of me and stops. He could have kept going and he would have cleared me and I'd have been able to go by him, or he could have just stayed off the road and let me pass. But instead he pulls out in front of me and stops and I hit him. Thank you for the sub, whoever that was. Super Silvers. Appreciate that, sir. I bought Rennsport. I'm telling you, when the day comes when Rennsport adds custom lobbies, this will probably be one of my most played and streamed games. Because I can't just do a casual scenario and I have to rely on the online ranked races, that pulls me back out of it a little bit. But the driving experience so far is the best one to me. Over all of them. LMU, iRacing, Project Motor Racing, AMS2, ACC, I guess Forza. And any of the other ones I might have missed in there. I think the driving experience is hands down the best in Rennsport. Awesome force feedback. Awesome driving characteristics. Awesome grip levels. It's not too punishing for making mistakes. It does slow you down. It does punish you, but it doesn't take you out of the race. That is something to me that is so important for just having a good time. If I make a mistake and someone passes me, I should feel like I have the ability to be able to stay in the race and catch them. And all these other ones, when I make a mistake and I crash because of it, in a scenario where I don't think a crash is warranted, there's no way I can catch that person unless they too crash. Like, something I miss about Gran Turismo 7 is that when you're behind a faster driver, you might make more mistakes because of it, but you will ultimately push harder to catch them. In iRacing, when someone gets in front of me, I let them keep going. There's no point in trying to push to catch them because I will crash. 100% chance will crash. I'll be right back. So Steve, the Mustang that I'm driving right now is a pre-order only car. So if you pre-ordered the game, that's how you get the Mustang. The Mustang is locked out to anybody else. But from my understanding is it's coming in later on. They're going to be releasing it to the public later on. Because I sent Rennsport a message basically saying, what do I got to give you guys? What do I got to donate? Whatever, so I can drive the Mustang. And they said, well, because I'm streaming the game and I fall under the content creator, regardless of if you think I'm a content creator or not, I really don't care. They would give me access to it. So I got access to it. But, yeah. I mean, not for nothing. All the cars, they have their own characteristics, but for the most part, they're all GT3 cars. They all kind of drive the same. I'm within a half a second on all the cars on the same track. Yes, I want to rejoin the contest. I guess should probably be in that screen, huh? Alright, this is the practice session. No point in wasting my time. I'll just wait. You're a content watcher. I'm a content watcher too. I watch a lot more content than I actually make, that's for sure. But I've always enjoyed doing stuff like this. It's just that what I used to do it with, which is motorcycles, it's too hard to create content. Because imagine every race I'm into right here. How many races a day can I play in a video game? How many races in real life can I do in a day? Very different scenario. I don't know if the game is gonna, because like for example, right now I feel like Project Motor Racing is in more desperation. So I think you're more than likely much easier to see discounts for a game like that, whereas in Rennsport, I don't feel like there's desperation. I just feel like it's a very niche game that has the potential for a lot of growth, and the content just isn't there yet to pull people into it. But like, look at these lobbies right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 console players, 2 PC players. You can see where the desire is. So when you look up Steam numbers, you cannot... So like right now, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it right now. Rennsport concurrent players. 43 on Steam. I am one of 43 people playing this game on PC right now in the entire world. Can buy PMR for $35 for PC. Isn't that wild? Is that with the DLC? The Year 1 DLC, or is it just the base game? I'm just curious. Oh. Wait, I'm in the Porsche, I just realized. I gotta figure out how to make my default car always be the Mustang. I mean, that's fine, this Porsche kicks ass, so I'm not complaining, but I just realized that says Porsche and not Ford. I do think the Porsche stops better. So far. I think the Porsche is still going to be the better car in this right now. But it could just be me. But I really do feel like the braking zone, you can be much more aggressive and brake a lot deeper. Let's find out right now. It's just qualifying. Let's brake a little deeper like I did in the Mustang, where I basically slid off the track. So I basically wait, I pass yellow and brake in the red. Nope. Nope. Oh, boy. Okay, so it is all placebo. That's fine. We'll just go back to the pits. I'll quality where I qualify. That's fine. Oh, never mind. Where the hell is the track? Right here. Ugh. I'll be right back.
There's a little hole in my big head. I like to watch the white floor turn red. I like to look at myself from the outside. No signs of life, so step aside. There's a little beauty in the big eyes. I think it makes them pretty. They look so nice.
I will say, if anybody's watched my most recent short that I put up, about 11 hours ago or so, definitely the most hysterical disconnect I have ever seen in a game, and it was from this. Nice. Yeah, I'll be. Are you going to be going to the Sim Expo in Charlotte? I'll be going to that one in May, considering that's only 3 hours from me. Nah, I don't play anything with bikes because I think bike games are pretty awful. That's pretty rough, man. It's pretty rough. Yeah, see, I want to go to the expo because I want to experience the high-end stuff, the stuff that, like, you know, will motivate me to make my stuff better, you know, that I might never be able to afford, but, you know, I want to get what's it called? The Zeus wheel, and it was at the other expos. It was at least at the one in Germany, anyway. And I'd like to get it in hand to make sure I want to get it first before I waste my money on it, you know? There we go. Let's drive cautiously, because you never... Oh, you all suck. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. That's fine. I'd rather be in last place. You all keep crashing. Holy mother of God, man. LMU might be the winner just because, even though I like driving this game better, the people in this game are they're just bad. They are just bad. Why did everybody crash right there? Can anybody go watch that back? What happened? Absolutely wild. At least this time, though, I didn't get a drive-through penalty. So that's good. Making progress. Custom lobbies, man. They will be so good in this game. Get me away from this crowd. The disaster discount, nice. We'll have another 11 minutes of solo races here because of the start. Oh. I don't know where you're going, buddy, but the track's over here. Why? Why? Intentional. Intentional pitting. If you can hear me, you're a piece of shit. Fuck that. I'm not finishing this race. Fuck that. You kidding me? What's the point of playing online if these are the people you're going to play with? That pissed me off. Clearly was passing him. I was already 3/4 in front of him, and he intentionally pits me as I go by. No way he didn't see me because I was in front of him when he pitted me. That's how pitting works. Game support controller. Yeah, that was a controller player who pitted me. I could tell because they do this, back and forth. Because they can't maintain a line. Unbelievable. Well, unfortunately, you can't eliminate controllers, though, because that eliminates most people. And that bottom line is, it doesn't matter if he was on a controller or not. That was intentional. He could have been on wheel. The same thing was going to happen. He was butthurt because he was getting passed, so he intentionally pitted me and took me out of the race. And I get 3 incident points. Yeah, quit. That's what gets me to quit a race. I'm not playing with people like that. So let's just say hypothetically I catch back up to that guy and then he does it again. I'm good. Telling you, man, custom lobbies are the only way that I can tolerate online racing. Become an online champion. Nah, I'm good. The rate I'm going, I'm going to be a Forza Horizon player. Oh, man. How much time we got to this one starts? I didn't even see. "18 minutes, man." I just don't feel like waiting 18 minutes. I know what I need to do right now. We're taking a break. We're getting out of these. We're switching it up completely. I need to get out some frustrations before I even attempt to do another race, so hold the phone. Here we go. Frustration time. Yeah, no, I'm good with iRacing ranked, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I'm good. If you think I just got pissed off at Rennsport right there, you should see me with iRacing. It's so hard to get any level of ranking in that game, and you feel like the game is stealing your money. Rennsport, I mean, there's no money. That's it. If I never give Rennsport another dime, I can keep playing it. Yeah, we're de-stressing right now with some Wreckfest. All right. Crash Canyon's pretty fun. It's pretty reckless. 10 laps, 24 cars. AI difficulty, I want them as slow as possible. Want as much damage as possible. I imagine Wrecker is more damage. There we go. Wreckfest, ladies and gentlemen. And I got... There it is. That was weird. Steering took a second to come in. Hey guys, I'm still playing Rennsport. Just so you know. Oh, where did you come from? Yeah, this is the early access Wreckfest 2. I have the first one as well, but they just released an update 2 days ago, I think. Gonna make you buy this game? Excuse me. Yep, piss off. Don't care. Crash it all. This is what I think about all the sim racing titles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Screw them all. There we go. Death. Death to all. I don't even care. Just want to hit everything. Alright, let's reset. There we go. Oh shit, oh shit. I don't think there's much left to our vehicle. Sir, there's no engine. What's revving right now? I think we're out of that race. Oh, shit. Alright, let's get out of this. Release some stress. Let's see if we can get back in time for that race in the LMU. This will be our final race of the day. For ranked anyway. And then I'll maybe deviate or just get off. One or the other. I don't really know. Sim racing is, it's weird. There's an argument for saying it's in a good place. There's an argument for saying it's in a bad place. But, like, I don't know why, but every game to me just feels incomplete. No matter what I play. And it's only racing games that are like this. Why is that? Well, that shaved 8 minutes off our time. No sessions to practice in either. Means we gotta stand here for 10 minutes. Or sit here for 10 minutes. Not for nothing, but Gran Turismo doesn't give me that feeling. Gran Turismo 7, I understand why it has such a big following. Because it's the only one that makes me feel like I'm buying a game and not a one niche, tiny little experience with a bunch of bullshit. You know? And Gran Turismo 7 is some of the worst driving games that I've experienced, but there's the most to do. Just unfortunate, man. Unfortunate that Gran Turismo 7 feels like the most complete game in racing. Honestly, at this rate, like if Gran Turismo was on PC, that's probably what I'd be playing. Even though it's, I think, they got the worst driving physics of all these games combined. There's the most to do in it. You know? I feel like every other game is just incomplete. Every game feels like it's in early access. How do I feel about the current PMR in Forza 8? Forza 8 never had my appeal. It felt like Gran Turismo 7 Temu edition. And PMR, it's lost a lot of its desire for me, a lot of its luster. The places that there are to have fun and Project Motor Racing are ruined by crashes and server disconnects and, you know. But like, these games having me wanting to sell my Simagic stuff and get back into Logitech so I can play Gran Turismo on stream. Oh yeah, if PMR released like Evo, no. I mean, here's the thing. Right now, it's all you can compare, regardless of what you call them. PMR is way better than Evo. There's nothing for me to do in Evo that wants me to play more than a second time. Anytime a new update comes out, I check it out, see what's there. I'm like, cool. All right, I'm out. Wait for the next update. And based off how long it took ACC to become a finely tuned machine, I don't have any hope for Evo 1.0 either. You know? Right now, I'm just like waiting for Simagic to give PS5 support. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. They keep talking about it like it's in the works, but I don't know. My biggest thing though is I don't even necessarily mind giving up the bass for Simagic. I don't want to give up the pedals. So then the other part of me is like, well, wait, maybe if I switch over to Fanatec and I buy their DD Extreme, which is 15 Newton meters, which is PS5 compatible, and then I can buy into their ecosystem. But, man, I just bought into Simagic's ecosystem, and I love the componentry. The kit is awesome. But, man, racing games suck. They're just so unfinished. I wish I had more positivity, but like it's gotten to that point now where every time I play a game, I'm just getting these overwhelmingly negative experiences. Can't even practice. That's the worst part. Now, if I go back, does it unregister me? Just curious. Not unregistered. Honestly, PMR has way more to do than Evo. Every time Evo releases a car, it's good and works. I can't say the same for PMR no matter how much I want it to be successful. Waited a year for trash. There's definitely some problems with Evo, though. Like, I don't know if you have an H pattern, but H patterns just stop working a couple gears in for no reason. I do think Evo is going to be a great game when it's complete and polished. But when is that going to be? You know? I honestly think Friday's stream I might do Forza Horizon. What will we think of that, chat? I know it's not a sim game by any means, but I need some good old-fashioned driving fun with some missions and no other human beings to screw with my experience. And that's online racing. Part of me wants to my plan from the start was never to attach myself to one game. I think that's always a mistake that people make when they stream, is they relegate themselves to a certain title, and then when they deviate from that title, they see a massive viewership loss. So for me, I feel like it's very important to sort of saturate your audience with people that sort of jump around and okay, let's watch this idiot play Forza Horizon. All right, let's watch this idiot try and be good in LMU. Whereas if you have someone who just plays one game and you build an audience based off that one game, well, games aren't permanent. You know? So, iRacing is probably the most permanent racing game, but I don't know, it just always feels so punishing to try and be into it. Minute 30. 15 seconds. All right, let's get the gloves on. Let's get professional. Yeah, I'm thinking Forza Horizon Friday. That's what I've been thinking about in my time in my brain right now. Just something that I'm just not relying on other people to either make better or worse, you know? As much as, like, I like playing with people for a lot of things, we'll see how this race goes. We're going to make our call from this race. LMU right now has the opportunity to keep me playing LMU for Friday, or switch over to Forza Horizon. What if we had to guess? What do we think my decision is going to be, based off this race? Take it super easy on the first lap. Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure they're going to crash first. All right, I'm not even going out in practice. I'll watch though. Whoa, this guy's got good internet. What is happening with this dude? Alright, so we know I gotta avoid S. Tretsum. In other series, I'll get tire options. Gotcha. So it's only medium in this one, which I think is what? WEC? I didn't even look. This guy's got some wonky internet. All right, so he's a no-go. How's Enrico? All right, Rico, show me what you got. Well, so far, you've proven all right. You're okay. All right, let's go qualify. How do I get out of this? I guess I have to escape. All right, way to pit exit. Don't know what SG means, but let's learn from our mistakes. Way to pit exit. I'm gonna wait right here. I'm not moving. I know it's at the end of the pits, but I wasn't taking any chances. I messed that up last time. Alright, let's go easy now. Try and have a successful qualifying regardless of where we come in. We just don't want to make any mistakes. I know a lot of people don't like bumper cam, but I'm a fan. Hood cam's good too. Gives you the ability to see a little further out, which is nice. Bumper cam can be a bit of a pain in the ass in a crowd. Also, before I finish, show me how to change my tires to fresh tires in between quali and the race, if you don't mind. Slow but safe. I don't know what that was. So I learned with this turn, you have to brake, do all of your braking prior to the turn. You can't do any kind of trail braking or you will spin out. At least, me personally anyway. I'd say LMU probably has my second favorite driving characteristics. I think the tires are a little too, you know, punishing at times. Nothing's as bad as iRacing when it comes to tires. iRacing sets the bar for misery when it comes to tires. Braked way too early right there. Just gotta be careful right here because we already know how I feel about this. So that's about 3 seconds off my PMR pace, by the way. Maybe even... Yeah, I want to say I've gone 2:23 in PMR. I'm not driving like I'm scared of the car in PMR either. What screen do I see my relative time on to my previous laps? Or is it in like plain sight and I'm just not seeing it? Oh, meant to be in third right there, not second.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
So, car setup. All right. Is there a place to just get new tires, or do I gotta, or just new? Okay, got it. New tires.
Formation lap has started.
So I gotta start driving. I'm confused. Way to pit exit. Yeah, I'm not worried about being heavy. I'm not winning the race regardless. Just want to try and do things correctly, that's all. Yeah, that's pit exit, so... I feel like I'm doing this wrong right now because I'm not out there on the grid.
Green flag, green flag.
Like I said. Unbelievable, man. One of these fucking days I'll get this game figured out. I guess this way I get to avoid the mess at the start. That's what I thought. I for some reason, I don't know. It takes 8 years to get into races, so it's hard for me to, an old man like me, to learn. I didn't touch you. I didn't touch you. Let me guess, you're gonna jump right on the track right in front of me? Yes, you are. I don't trust this guy. I don't trust anybody online, that's the problem. I'd rather back out of a situation, even if I'm in front, and let them pass, than deal with someone crashing me. These games are far too punishing for a crash, even when you're not the one responsible. Just wait for them to be an idiot. That's all you can do.
Time 2:44.18.
Appreciate it, Wet Mog. Thanks for stopping by. It's, they're all stressful. LMU is definitely a learning curve. Because they don't really explain anything to you. You just kind of got to figure it out. And I'm trying to do this from the perspective of being a casual and streaming and all that jazz. But, the online racing has been tough. Lots of it is Rennsport especially. I'm gonna have to clip the one where I got pitted in Rennsport. That's gonna be a short for sure. So far, the racing has been better in LMU than Rennsport today. Not much better, but Rennsport has felt extra malicious. Whereas this, it feels like people are trying. They're just trying too hard, and they're making stupid decisions. Whereas Rennsport, I feel like people are trying to crash you. Like one guy I completely cleared, not completely cleared because he pitted me, but I cleared him. And then he decides to pit me because he didn't like the fact that he got passed. Jesus, what is everybody doing? This turn's gonna end poorly if I push it here. I already know it. I'm gonna brake early, but I'll worry about you crashing. You can go crash. I'll let you go. I've learned too many lessons about doing battles in the turns in these games. To the point where I'd rather give it up every time. Case in point, like I said, still not gonna clear him. Still not gonna clear him. Why does everybody suck at video games? At least I'm not forced into a repair situation right now. I was gonna go wide, but he just drifted too far. That doesn't even make any sense. That doesn't even make any sense. Nothing about that made any sense. I'm sorry, but this is not what I consider fun. Online idiots ruining your experience. Now my car's all jacked up. Yep, we're done. We're done. I can't do anything now. This is called a rage quit, guys. When you want to race online against idiots, this is what happens. You rage quit. I'm sorry, but this shit is just not fun the way you're punished on the online. I can only race in certain races on the internet for realism's sake, and I can only race against idiots. You can't do battle with anybody on the internet because they'll crash you. That guy I knew, he spun out in front of me once. I knew he was going to be a problem, so I let him take the lead, and then he spins out the next turn, and even though I was going too fast to have any kind of maneuverability, and I tried drifting wide, and he still rolled in front of me after he spun out and took me out of the race. Forza Horizon it is, boys. We are no longer doing this competitive online shit. Ranked play has told me that it's not fun. It's for the guys that like to torture themselves. What is top sim racing game for you? That doesn't exist. Unbelievable. So I either have to get towed back to the pits or make it back to the pits, then sit there in the pits, I didn't do, mind you, that was only what, 4 online races today in 4 hours. So think about it like this. 4 hours, 4 online races, every one of them ruined by idiots crashing. Random online ranked lobbies in sim racing is awful. It is not fun. I'd rather just go race in real life and deal with real life problems. Video games are supposed to be fun. That's not fun. You can't do battle with anybody because the damage penalties. So you either need to, you have to go in one or two directions. You go in the case if you go league, and where everybody is at least trying to not ruin other people's races, or you lean into the casualness and remove punishing damage, make it so you can create your own lobbies and host it for idiots, and then if people crash, but it doesn't ruin your experience, and you can just start the race over and not have to wait another 25 minutes for another ranked race. 4 races, 4 hours, all ruined by idiots. Not a good experience. Oh, man. I don't know. I think I'm going to get off, though, for now, because that put me in a bad mood, and I don't want to ruin other people's days with my piss-poor attitude, you know? Oh, man. And if I get back on tonight, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't even know if I'm going to get back on tonight, honestly. I don't know what to play. Because I like to do host lobbies at nighttime. But in all honesty, I don't even know what to host. So let's just go down the list. Can't host a lobby in either one of these without paying. I can host a lobby on AMS2, but that's only PC players. Can host a lobby in F125. I haven't dabbled much with Forza Horizon 5 when it comes to the multiplayer aspect of things. From my understanding, though, it's fairly broad. I can do a lot with it. LMU can't host shit. You just witnessed what you can do with LMU. PMR, I can host lobbies, but they need some work. Rennsport, also ruined by online people. Yeah, but I'm locked out of Platinum rank. I gotta deal with these vultures and keep getting my rank up. And it's unfun. You know? The diehard people that only like sim racing, I can see them like unsubbing. It's kind of funny. Bye. So I don't know. I'm thinking... I don't know. I gotta do some real thinking right now. Yeah, I can tell you the ranked in iRacing is even worse. It's even more unforgiving. I don't know. I gotta think. I hate to say Forza Horizon 5, but like... I can, Webmog. I don't have them posted anywhere, but I can't post them up. I gotta look more into Forza Horizon 5 during the day and figure out things. But either way, I need lunch because I'm hangry. These games have put me in a foul mood. So I'll post if I'm going to be back on later tonight. Regardless, I'll be back on Friday for sure. I don't know if I'm going to be on tonight. Undecided. It might be, I don't know, something casual again. Anyway, Wet Mog, appreciate you being here, guys. Anyway, folks, for those who got to watch me rage all day, thanks for being here. Thanks for tolerating it. Unfortunately, online ranked has not been a fun experience for a casual. Because, like, I'm not the best, but I am trying to do decent and not ruin other people, and everybody else is just driving like idiots, crashing you. So, it's not for everybody in that sense. But, anyway, folks, that's going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Just a little bit of a shorter one, courtesy of Ranked Play. Anyway, I will be back Friday for sure, possibly tonight. Don't know yet. We'll see. But anyway, folks, thanks for being here. And regardless, I will see you Friday. Take care now.